Greetings and salutations, TikTok. Oh, I had a minute. I got a new stand thingy. They wanted me to do a video. TikTok made me buy it. It's the only thing I ever bought from TikTok Shop. And it's pretty cool, I guess. It's better than what I had, that's for sure. Okay. How's everybody doing? I still can't see shit. I'm betting to go get new glasses here in a couple weeks. Hopefully that'll help. I tried to do a stitchy live the other night where I was cross stitching. Apparently nobody liked that. There's a lot of magic in cross stitching if you know how to do it. I'm just saying. If you stitch with intent and prayer, you can do a lot with that shit. Especially if you gift it to somebody. I'm just saying. How is everybody doing? Anybody gonna talk? Anybody gonna ask questions? You got my time. For a minute. I'm giving it to you freely. Take advantage. Is there a spell or a way I can get Omar, my husband, to treat me with kindness? Put him in a sugar bowl. Make him sweet to you. Sugar. Sugar, sugar! And I don't mean a fucking jar. Just put him in a bowl with some sugar. Print off his picture. Write his name, date of birth on it. And put him in a sugar bowl. Cover him up with sugar. With intent and prayer. Be nice to me. Be sweet to me. Be sweet on me. Be kind. Be loving. You're welcome. Simple shit always works the best. I guarantee you it's going to work. He's going to be sweet to you. Just leave him in there. Don't let him find it either. Do I live in Salem? Is this Hollywood? No, it is not. This is the lowland. Does anybody have any actual questions? Yeah, we're not doing this tonight. Absolutely fucking not. I give too much attention to these motherfuckers when they pop in here, and they do not deserve it. Explain the origins of Halloween. Well, it depends on, you mean the origins or like the American Halloween? Because we're the only ones that call it Halloween. How do you make a guy I like love me? I mean, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to make somebody love you? If you make somebody do anything, it's not real then, is it? I mean, if you're happy with that, whatever, that's your choice, but you make somebody do it. I would rather them do it because they wanted to. Well, at least you're honest. At least you're honest. Shit. You can't do that on your own? Fuck, hold on, I'm missing questions. Do I summon entities? I work with spirits. Lots of spirits. You love magic and do it, but feel called by God. I had a lot of Christians condemn me for that. No, there's totally Christian witches. Christianity is totally witchcraft. Especially Catholicism part of it. Holy fuck, have you ever been to a mass? The Origin Festival of Samhain. I mean, there's a million things on YouTube you can Google about the origins of Samhain, but I mean, from my understanding of Samhain, it originated, in the old country, originally, to keep spirits from bugging you. I mean, that's what. Well, I know it originally, like the trick or treat thing started in church. Believe it or not, in the old country, people would do souling, is what they called it, and it was mostly orphans and poor folk and homeless people, and they would go door to door, and they would offer to pray for your deceased loved ones, and they would call it souling, and they would give out soul cakes, is what they call them. If I'm going to pray for your deceased loved one, you feed me, and they gave them called soul cakes. Well, that's where trick or treat started, anyway. Oh, don't type your questions more than once, guys. I will get to them when I get to them because you just clog up the chat. So just one question, and I will get to it when I get to it. Time for new. Yeah, I'm getting new glasses. I'm totally getting new glasses. I have bifocals and they put them like way too fucking low, so I have to like lift these things up to see the damn print on the fucking chat. Lidu finally caught alive! Yay! How do we tell if we've been cursed? I mean, curses are few and far between. They're very rare. But you would have to get a reading from someone. People always want to know about curses. Y'all, I have been doing this for 36 or 38 years, somewhere around there. And in all them years of me doing nothing but this and helping people, I have come across an actual curse maybe 4 times in all those years. Now, I'm not saying it's not a thing. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it's not real. It totally happens in Israel. It's just really rare. Curses are really rare. I wanted a serious question. I mean, yeah, I hope so. I've always been told I have a gift, but don't know how. Can you tell me that at all? I don't understand what you're asking. Can I tell you if you have a gift? No. Unless I was reading you. Do I practice Anglo-Saxon witchcraft? I do not. I do a little of this, a little of that. Mostly Appalachian folk magic. I'm initiated in a few ATRs. I do a couple different things. A little this, a little that. I don't really put a name on anything I do. I don't understand why a lot of Americanized church doesn't even believe in angels. Girl, I'll tell you, the Americanized church nowadays would crucify Jesus again if he fucking showed up, because he'd be way too liberal for their fucking asses. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing. No problem. Why return negative energy back to sender instead of into fire? I mean, you can do that, but what's the fun in that? If somebody throws some shit at me, I'm gonna hit it with a bat and right back at them. You know what I mean? Can you please share effective protections from negative energy from coworkers? I mean, there's lots of things you could do, but if it's coworker thing, like my recommendation would be to make something or carry something or wear something for protection from those people. You could do like protection work and stuff like that, but it's a lot easier to just carry something, wear something. Always wear protections. Yeah, I really need new glasses, y'all. I think I'm gonna get glasses. Have y'all seen them, that Vooglam shit on this app for glasses? They're pretty cheap and they're different. They're a lot better than glasses my place got. I think I'm gonna order a couple pair, take those down here and get new fucking glasses probably within the next month. I'm gonna be real busy, y'all, from like next week through probably a long time till summer. Do I do spell casting? I do work. I don't really call it spell casting. I just do work. I am a service to my community, which is why I'm here giving you my time freely. So take advantage of it. Do you make products to wear for protection, or is it like yeah, I can make stuff that you can wear for protection. I can make necklaces, bracelets. I can make you a bag you can carry. I'm a makuto. I can make all kinds of things for protection. Rituals. What ritual? Rituals question mark. What kind of question is that? Do I do rituals? I don't know what you're asking me. I mean, everything's a ritual, isn't it? Everything you do is a ritual. You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you go to the bathroom, you wash your face, you jump in the shower, you wash your hair, you do that every day. It's a fucking ritual. Do it with intent. It's a ritual. Eat dinner every night. That's a ritual. Clean your house. That's definitely a ritual. Everything we do is ritual. We are ritualistic creatures. This is terrible. See, I got this new stand thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be able to like position it so I can read this shit better, and I still really can't without lifting my fucking glass. Unless I put the camera like way down here and you'd be looking at my nose. Yeah. Anybody have any question? I've used your True Love oil, and it really worked. Excellent. That's some good shit. Do I believe in God? I don't believe in the Christian concept of God. I believe in a divine creative energy that maybe some men have called God. I mean, yes, if you believe in God, which one? There are many gods. I mean, the shit I was raised in, I was raised in powwow tradition and Appalachian folk magic and stuff. It's very highly Christianized. Very Christian dependent. So I absolutely believe in a divine creator. I would prefer not to call it God. Anybody? Anybody else? I'm going to be massively busy, y'all. I ain't going to be able to come back on here for a minute. I got a lot going on in the next few months. What's the best way to keep spirit away from somewhere specifically? I mean, the good old go-tos, iron, salt, and brick. If it's like a place that you're trying to keep spirits out of, iron, salt, brick. If you want to keep dead out of a place, then I would recommend Espanta Muerte or Pomarosa. Rue's good too. Rue's actually really good for keeping spirits out. Cascaria. I mean, it depends on what kind of spirit you're dealing with. Have you ever see demons? Do I lucid dream? I don't lucid dream, actually. Well, I mean, I do, but I don't do it very often. Very few and far between. Have I ever seen demons? I've seen a lot of shit. But I don't know how to classify. I mean, to say it's a demon. I mean, how do you classify that? I've seen a lot of fucking shit. I don't know if it's demons. Just crazy shit. What book do I start with for begging the faith? Is that a typo, or did you mean to ask that? Begging the faith? Did you mean beginning? Beginning the faith, maybe? Oh, thank you. I have a person sending entities. They killed my cat. Oh, no. No. That's not fucking cool. Demons are gods? Nah. I wouldn't say that. Beginning the faith. So, what faith are you referring to? And I mean, you must be new here too, because I'm not a big proponent of books. Yeah, demons are totally not gods. Totally not gods. Totally not. Who the hell told you that? Who y'all listening to? Y'all come in here with some crazy shit sometimes. Like, who the fuck are you listening to? TikTok says encourage your viewers to share your live and invite their friends. I'm encouraging my viewers to share the live and invite my friends. What are they? I mean, what classifies a demon? What classifies a demon? Just because something is malicious, does that make it a demon? Because it's malevolent, does that make it a demon? What classifies a demon? They need something substantial for magic, hence they'll feed off energy. Is that what you're saying classifies a demon? Something that feeds off your energy? The word demon itself originated from daemon, which literally is higher spirit. Thank you. They don't sustain themselves. That would be a parasite. I would call that a parasite, not a demon. Are there parasitic spirits? Absolutely. I think so, but I could be not educated enough. I wouldn't call that a demon. I would call it a spiritual parasite, or an attachment is what we call it a lot of times. If they didn't sustain themselves, how are they still relevant? Are there demons that aren't parasitic? Yes. But again, give me your definition of a demon? What do you consider a demon to be? Because I've seen a lot of fucking shit. I don't know if any of it's demons. What do? I do a little of this and a little of that. Little bit. What do? I help people. I service my community and I solve problems. That's what I do. And hopefully educate along the way. I definitely believe in parasites, but demons to me is a deity with a name and statues of worship. That would be closer. What do you think they are? Sorry. I don't know what I would classify as a demon. Khan's explanation there is pretty good. I mean, I think the Bible names some demons by name and stuff. And have I ever seen any of those entities? Not to my knowledge. I've seen a lot of shit that a lot of people would probably say is a demon. But I'm not going to say that. There are malevolent, malicious things. There are parasitic things, low vibrational things, or what you want to call it. But does that make something a demon? From the research I've done on the Goetia, those are bastardized half names from cities like Sumer. Yeah. I mean, you probably know more about demons than I do, because I don't even know. I don't even know what I would call a demon. Hey, Lady Starlight. Yep, I got a minute. Thank you for the roses, Anna. So I thought I'd pop on and see if I could service anybody. Be of assistance. Give you my time freely. Whew. I got so much work going on in here right now. I'm just babysitting stuff. I was like, I got a minute. I mean, come on. I tried to come on and do a Stitchy live the other night, but apparently nobody was going for that. I didn't like that. Trying to branch out a little bit. Can I get the protection item through your website? There's lots of items on my website for protection. Yes, I can even, if you order like a Grigri or something, I can make you something specific for you to carry or wear. Hey, thank you. Oh, who sent that? Lady Starlight? Thank you for the heart and the thing and the stuff. Number one gifter. Appreciate it. I really need to get new glasses, y'all. What is a Grigri? It's a pouch, like a little bag that you do not open and that you carry with you for a specific purpose. There's different kinds. I can make you one for protection. Do you have anything that I can use as a vessel for Beasley? Like a ring or pendant. What's a Beasley? I don't know what a Beasley is. Or a Belzy? Belzy Beasley? Beelzebub. I mean, is that going to be contained into a vessel? I'm not quite sure if that's something you're going to contain in a vessel. You're welcome, Lidu. Lidu. I'm horrible with names. Anybody know that? Y'all know me. I wouldn't think an energy like the one you're talking about would be contained in something. I mean, you would have to make something shit. Well, number one, you'd have to make a pack. Number two, you'd have to make a bigger container than an amulet or a ring. I don't want it contained. I just want it with me. So make a deal. You don't have to make an amulet or something to try and trap the spirit in there to carry it with you. Make a deal. And make a deal they walk with you. They're always with you. That's all you need. And if they so deem it, then they will instruct you on how to make something that you can wear or carry for them. Just make sure you don't you fulfill your end of the bargain. Don't make promises you can't keep. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to bind him. I just want to have something cool he can be in. Again, make a pact, make a deal, make a bargain. And once you make that bargain, you build that relationship, ask them for something. They'll instruct you how to make something or do something if that's what they want to do. If they want to be carried around in a locket or something, they'll tell you how to do it if you make a deal. Well, whoop-de-doo, Johnny. I am so happy for you. I'm right. I know I'm right. You're welcome. Whoop-de-doo, Johnny. They don't like to be I mean, some of them, you can make vessels for spirits and stuff, and they're cool with that, but it doesn't mean they're going to stay in the fucking vessel. It's just like, home base, kind of. Like they'll chill out there or something, but they ain't going to fucking stay there. But you got to make a deal for that shit, man. You got to make a pact, a bargain. Binding is serious, but in my opinion, people don't even understand what binding is. Everybody, watch The Craft. I bind you, Nancy, from doing harm. That's not what binding is, y'all. Well, from my understanding of it. My understanding is when you bind someone or something, you bind them to you. That's what binding is. That's why you hand fast when people marry in traditions and stuff. That's a binding. You're not binding something to keep it away from you. You're binding it to you. And that's why a lot of people out here walking around fucked up right now. I'm just saying. They don't understand what binding is. People don't understand what karma is. They use that wrong all the time. Not binding a thing, just a home base. Well, a home base isn't going to be an amulet or a ring. It's gonna be something much larger than that. It's gonna have to be like a prenda, a sopera, something, a large house. Sometimes a muneka, a doll, or something like that could be a home base. But again, you would have to make a deal. You'd have to make a relationship, and then you need to fucking ask them, hey, what do you want to stay in? What do you want to chill in? What would you like your home to be? And tell me how to make it for you. Make it nice and comfy and cozy, and I'll make it for you, and you can chill there. Spirit's the one going to tell you that. Because you could make a thing and be like, here, this is for you, and this is your home, and you can fucking chill there. And it could be like, I don't like that shit. That shit's ugly as fuck. I ain't gonna stay in there. I don't like it. You need to ask the spirit what they want. How you can make it homely for them, and how they gonna like it, or they ain't gonna be in there. Hello, Carlene. Yeah, I had a minute. A very quick minute. And I'm about to be massively fucking busy in the next couple months. For the next couple months. Is there a way I can better develop hearing them and stuff? Well, number one, it depends on how the spirit communicates. Number two, it depends on what your abilities are. Because some people can't hear spirit. Some people some people can see. Some people can smell them. Some people can hear them. Some people can feel them. Some people just know shit. Like there's different ways the spirits communicate with you. All my spirits all communicate differently. They all communicate differently, and some of it is because I had abilities that apparently have been blocked for a little while, so other things are developing, and I think that's the reason for it, but they all communicate differently. But as far as hearing them, they might not even be trying to communicate that way. You follow me? They might be sending you pictures. They might be sending you dreams. They might be sending signs in other ways. Like omens or messengers, or spirits all communicate differently. Not all of them you're going to hear them. He communicates through insects and animals, and lately the dialogue has been different. Alright, so if you work with a spirit for a while, and they communicate in this one specific way, and then it changes, you better make sure it's that spirit. You better make sure it's not an imposter, or a trickster, or some other fucking rando. Because usually, when a spirit communicates in a specific way, that's the way they communicate. It doesn't really change up. So if that's happening, you need to verify that it's actually still that spirit. Even if you're using tools. Like if you're using stuff for divination, pendulum rods, cards, blah blah, whatever you're using for divination, that shit can get hijacked. You can say this spirit always communicates with this tool, so I know when I use this tool, I'm always talking to this specific spirit. That's not always the case, because that shit can get hijacked too. So you always have to verify who you're talking to, no matter what you're doing. What powers lie in mirrors? Mirrors are portals. They are 100% portals. They're great for protection. They're great for reversing shit, but always remember they're portals. So, for example, in my culture, we never hang mirrors on an outside wall. If you hang in a mirror in your house, it has to be on the inside wall. So you're not just letting anything in from outside come through that, because it's a portal. It's a doorway. Sorry, I visited your website and didn't see protection items to carry. Is this a custom purchase? Go onto the menu, and I have categories listed there to make it easy for everybody. There is a category for protection. If you go into the protection category, you should find chicken's feet that you could carry, coffin nail crosses, gree. Under the protection category, it's saying now if you wanted something custom that's not on there, like a necklace, or you specifically want a specific necklace, a specific bracelet, or something like that, that would be a custom thing that is not available on the site, because I make those like specifically for people. So you would have to contact me privately, and we would work that out on making you something like that. Oh, do I have spiritual energy? I don't know. Do you? What are you asking me for? If you do, you know. If you have any questions about it, then you don't. I don't even call it that. I call it the it. Either you got it or you don't got it. If you got it, you can't hide it. If you got it, you don't got to flaunt it. It's the it. You can't hide it. Like a lion don't have to tell you it's a lion. You know it's a lion. If you got the it, then you got it. If you don't got it, then you don't got it. Flowers shared the live. Encourage more viewers to share. Okay, TikTok. This app is so funny. I say it every fucking time, and what I hate about TikTok Live, they never give you an accurate count of how many people is in here. I hate that. YouTube gives you an accurate count of how many people's in your live. This one, people join. That number in the corner never moves. What rules do you follow and won't break in your work? I don't do any work without divination. And that is something I would never break, and I will always follow. I do nothing without divination first. You remember you said that you can put mirrors in the window. Yeah. Facing out. Yeah. Not on a wall facing in. Then you got shit coming in. If you use mirrors for protection, you want them facing out. I was talking about hanging mirrors like on a wall inside or something that you're going to look at. You don't put them on an outside wall. Inside walls only. I mean, hell, these fucking flat screen TVs. Those are fucking mirrors. They're black mirrors. You can scry in a flat screen TV if it's turned off. Like for real, I saw some crazy shit in my TVs. They're giant black mirrors. Absolutely. What is scrying? Scrying is a form of divination. You probably would be more familiar in the form of like a crystal ball or something, where you're looking into something to see things. That's scrying. You can do it with a lot of things. You can do it with mirrors, black mirrors, water, crystal balls, any kind of reflective kind of surface thing you can scry in. Yup. Like Lord of the Rings, when she asked Frodo if he'll look into the mirror, and he's like, what will I see? That was scrying. They were scrying in the mirror that she poured the water on. Yup. Any other questions? Scrying takes a lot of practice too. A lot of practice. You're not just going to look at something and be like, oh, I see this. It takes a lot of practice and discipline to scry. Some people can't do it. You are so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, you're welcome, Kiki. That's why I'm here. I know that, and flat screen TV was not even doing it. I seen something. I know a lot of people cover. I know a lot of workers cover their TVs when they're off or when they're sleeping. If they got one in their bedroom, they'll throw a sheet or something over their TV, their flat screens. I know a lot of people see shit in their TVs. I've seen shit in my TVs. Hell, my TVs have a mind of their own. My people like to fuck with my TVs a lot, and nobody ever believes me. We had a friend staying here for a week or so, and I tell everybody that shit's gonna go on, right? I'm like, don't freak out when you're in my house and shit happens. It's gonna happen, I'm telling you now. So I had a friend here, and I was telling her, I was like, sometimes this TV gonna come on in the middle of the night. And it's gonna come on full fucking blast. And it's probably gonna like freak you out, but don't. It's like, it does it quite often. It did it every single fucking night she was here for a week. Every fucking night. That fucking TV came on. And it doesn't just come on, it comes on in surround sound, like at top volume. So like you'll just be sleeping and all of a sudden the bass, you'll hear like crazy TV loud. And yeah, my TVs do what they want. Do what Spirit wants. They like fucking with my shit. How long have you been doing it? Well, I was born, saying I'm a proponent of that, and a lot of people are going to hate me, but from my experience, I was born this way. I believe witches are born, not made. I don't believe anyone can wake up one day and be like, I'm going to be a witch today. Let me go get a book. I don't think that's the way it works, in my opinion. But I've been doing work. I did my first work at the age of 9. Don't know how I knew to do what I did. Well, I know now. I know now, but at the time, I don't know how I knew to do what I did. So that's, 9 years old is when I started doing work. But I was raised in some traditions, but we didn't call it anything. It was just the way you do things, just the way you live. Always trust your intuition. It's a process and it reveals itself in layers. Just know who to talk to because not everyone understands or listens. Do I work with any deities? I work with a lot of spirits. Some people would probably label them as deities. Not going to specifically name any of them, but yeah, I guess I work with some spirits that people would consider deities. Do you believe evil eye is real? Absolutely. That is some real ass shit. Yes. You always gotta wear something to protect yourself from evil eye. You know what you gotta do if you see somebody giving you evil eye, right? Spin around 3 times, spit, and walk backwards away from that motherfucker. No evil eye on me. Don't do that shit. You're able to speak with those who have I can communicate with the dead, yes, but I'm not a medium, or I don't consider myself a medium, let me say that, where I can, I can do a reading for somebody and, I want to talk to Uncle Bob and I can't specifically pull up Uncle Bob if Uncle Bob doesn't want to show the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be somebody else that shows up. Yeah, I mean, that's what I do. I work with the dead. I work with ancestors all the time. But I'm not a medium in a way as to where I can communicate specifically with your deceased loved one and, tell you they're okay and what there's like, that's not what I do. Beautiful gift. I mean, it is, and it isn't. It is what it is. Spit and walk backwards. Absolutely. Yes. You see somebody giving you evil eye, you spin around 3 times, spit on the ground, and walk fucking backwards. That's how you cancel out that evil eye shit. I mean, you can also wear things for evil eye, but the actions are better. I mean, I think it's done different in different cultures. That's my Italian nana. My Italian nana is big on that evil eye shit. That's what she always did. Spit on the ground, spin around 3 times, spit, walk backwards. Italians are funny, I know. But hey, I mean, their magic is just as good as anybody else's magic. Hey, she's Italian and she does that. See, it's a thing. What do you do when somebody is really mad and in their own feelings and cursing you? I mean, what do you mean cursing you? Like actually throwing work at you, or just being like, you fucking bitch, I'm mad at you? Like, unless they're actually throwing shit at you. I can't do that at work. Why not? Why not? Everybody gonna leave you the fuck alone. You do that shit at work, I guarantee you. Hang with her, she crazy. I ain't fucking with her. Okay, you know you did the right thing, but they're mad. I mean, I would walk away from it personally. Sounds a little toxic. I'm a big proponent of mundane over magical. I mean, I will always go mundane over magical. Magic is usually a last resort for most situations. But spirit ain't gonna work for you if you don't exhaust your mundane solutions first. You follow me? They're gonna see you as lazy, and they don't reward laziness. So, if there's something going on and you're running straight to magic, I'm gonna do this, blah, 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 and you're not exhausting the mundane physical world things to help the situation, spirit ain't gonna take you serious. They're gonna think you're lazy because you didn't even try to rectify it. You just ran to them with your fucking problems. You follow me? I was wondering if you see that I fixed my net. Yeah, I saw it. It looked alright. Looked good. Are you able to feel if there are any deities around? No. No, I'm not able to feel through TikTok if you have any deities around you. I can guarantee you got spirits, though, because everybody does. I guarantee you got ancestors around you, and you got a spiritual court around you. Now, what that consists of, it looks different for every person. But you got them. We all have spirits. We all have spirits that accompany us. And some of them come with us when we're born. They're with us, boot from the jump. And some of them we pick up through our life from different places and different things. Some of them only chill with us for a little bit. They'll be with us for a little time, and then they'll go on and do other things. Pertaining to a spiritual court, a lot of those are with you for life, but they'll be prominent at different points in your life. So, at one point in your life, this one spirit might step up and be like, this is my jam. I can help you with this, and we can do this, and we can do that. And then that period in your life passes, they'll step back, and they'll allow another spirit in your court to step forward for a next journey that you're doing in your life. I did follow your instructions to a T. Then you should be good to go. then you should be good. Hope it works the same like what you did. As long as, like you said, you broke it yourself and it wasn't from a hit, then you should be fine. See, Carlene I made her one of them protection necklaces that I was talking about earlier. That's like a custom deal thing, and she broke it. And usually that would be a big deal, but she knows that she broke it, and it didn't break from something else. So she was able to fix that on her own. She had another one that I made her that broke from a hit, and that was not able to be repaired. I had to make her a new necklace, and she broke that one. Oh, any other questions? This is my time, and I don't have much of it. That one curl is just bugging me. How do you cut spirit ties? What do you mean by spirit ties? Do you mean by spirit ties to another person? Or like ties to an actual spirit? Because those would be different things. It was at work. It broke. I didn't break. Yeah, you didn't break the first one. I know. But you broke the second one. So you were able to fix it on your own because it wasn't from a hit. And believe me, I learned firsthand the consequences of putting on an item that took a hit and putting it back on. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's some stupid shit, and I still am having problems from it. You too, Christy. Thanks for joining us. In this case, ties to a person being puppeted by something not keen on my like cord cut. Why is cord cutting? I don't know. That's like the new TikTok fad or something. First it was like the egg cleanses, and now it's cord cutting. What y'all are considering cord cutting, I would do in a completely different way. I wouldn't do that with a candle or anything along that lines. And I'm not sure if I should say it on a live because somebody might wind up hurting themselves and then they'll come blame me for it. Well, she told me to do it. For entertainment purposes only, TikTok. I am not telling anyone to do what I am describing. Don't ban me or report my live. What I would do in that circumstances is use an actual knife. I would use an actual knife and I would actually scrape my entire body with it down and actually cut shit off. Not cutting yourself. You have to be really careful that you don't cut yourself. We don't want that. But that's the way I do stuff like that. But you absolutely, you'd have to fix that knife too. You have to cleanse it, pray over it, probably set it on fire, and then clean yourself with it. Yeah, the way I'm describing is going to work, but you got to be really fucking careful. Do not cut yourself. But you actually need to scrape your skin. You know what I mean? Like with the edge, but without cutting, just scraping. That's what you're going to do. Head to toe, downward motion, and then get rid of that shit. Take that knife somewhere, bury it in a church, bury it in the woods. Just get rid of it when you're done. off of your property. May the Creator keep blessing you. Know how much this helps. Well, thank you. I appreciate my blessings very much. That's a lot of people in this shit want to get in their ego, and I try very hard. That is a cool ritual. Thank you. Yeah, it works. It works. I don't know what people are doing with these candles and all this stuff. I don't know. Just cut it off. Like literally cut it off. Yeah, I try really hard not to be an ego, and I'm always grateful. Somebody asked me earlier about rituals. I mean, my daily rituals, I get up, I do my morning things, and I go straight to my ancestors. I light their candle, and I thank them. I give my gratitude every morning for waking up, for breathing, for being healthy, for everything I'm grateful for. That's my morning ritual. And then at night, I come in here and I give gratitude to everybody else. Yep, that's on the daily. Those are my daily rituals. Gratitude is key. If the spirit doesn't think you're grateful, they won't give it to you anymore. And you have to share your gratitude. Make sure you're, giving them flowers, giving them offerings, doing stuff to show your gratitude. The more you're grateful, the more for the blessings you do have, and you don't focus on the ones that you don't have. Be grateful for what you do have. Show gratitude for what you have received, and it will multiply. But if you always go to spirit wanting, needing, complaining, they're not going to give you anything. Because they're going to be like, look, I gave you this, I gave you that, you have this, you have that, and you don't even appreciate it. You're not even grateful for this. Why am I going to give you that? It's real simple. Spirits are a lot like people. I mean, most of them are dead people. So if you just look at spirit the way you would look at people, everything gets real simple. They appreciate gratitude, appreciation, and, everything else. And if you had a friend that all they did when they came to you was complained about their life and wanting things from you and needing this and wanting that and complaining and griping all the time, you wouldn't like that friend very much. You wouldn't want to hang out with them. You wouldn't want to do things for them. You wouldn't want to help them after a while. Spirit's the same way. Do things for them, they do things for you. Show gratitude and it multiplies. I'm always happy and have gratitude for all the things I have in my life. That's the way you gotta be. That's the thing of it. And people don't look at it like that. They look at it as they're using spirits. I'm going to use this spirit for that. I use this spirit for that. No. Don't use them for anything. You have a relationship, you have a partnership. You have a friendship, and it has to be reciprocated as such, both ways. What offerings does spirit want to show gratitude beyond? Well, I mean, it depends on the spirit. Different spirits like different things, but I can say in general, all spirits love flowers. All the dead and all spirits love flowers. So, I mean, you can't ever go wrong with flowers. Most spirits really like tobacco. That could be a cigar, a cigarette, a pipe, loose tobacco. Like you can burn it like as an incense for them, tobacco smoke. And most spirits like tobacco, and most spirits like liquor. A lot of spirits like coffee too. And those are just some general things, but I mean, it depends on the spirit to get more specific in what that spirit likes. But in general, those are some things that spirits like. And when you get, all spirits love food and water, of course. All spirits love water, so you can always offer water as well. But all spirits love food, but that gets a little tricky because everybody has different tastes, right? Everybody likes different shit, so you really got to know what spirit you're working with and what they like, and you give them what they like. That's all there is to it. What is not right? Do they want the flowers picked or grown? They don't care. They don't care. Just some fucking flowers. I don't care where you get them at. They don't care where you get them at. They all love flowers. And flowers are great anyway. I mean, flowers absorb shit in your house too. And it doesn't have to be specific flowers. All flowers do this. So, like, let's say you get some flowers and you put them in a vase in your house and they die them real quick. Like, they ain't living, 3 days or something. You probably need to cleanse your house because they're absorbing some shit that's making them die. Like, if you get flowers and they're lasting a really long time, then you're good. You ain't got nasty shit in your house. I mean, it's always good to have flowers around anyway. But they're really great for offerings for any spirit. All of them appreciate flowers. That's one thing across the board that they will all like. What is not right to use spirit? Exactly. But you catch a lot of people saying that shit, especially on this app. I use this spirit for that. I use this spirit for money. I use this spirit for love. You ain't use spirit for shit. Ain't using for nothing. Oh, have you performed the Bremelin opera? I have not, but I do make a Bremelin oil that is very, very good, but I have not actually. Fuck no, man. Do you know what's entailed in that shit? Have you ever done it? That's like 3 to 6 month fucking ordeal. Like, no. No. I don't need to talk to an angel that bad. I got plenty around here to talk to. I don't need to talk to an angel that bad. Fuck no. Did you see that movie? I think it was called Dark Song or A Dark Song. I think that's what it was called. But it's all about the Bremelin ritual. Yeah, no, we ain't doing that shit. If a person is ill with a spirit, what can I do to help? It's gonna depend on the spirit. You really need to do some divination. But in general, burn camphor. Burn camphor and cleanse the person and the home of the person. Do you know anyone who's... No, I don't. Well, I knew one guy. Who did it. And he is 100% convinced that he became invisible for quite a few months. And nobody could see him. Like, literally nobody could see him. But he could still communicate through text, apparently. But I know one person who did it. But he was really, really out there. We called him the Merlin. He was a friend of ours. And he did a lot of... he worked with some... He did some caustic ass shit. He used to work with like plutonium and uranium and radioactive shit, and like he did some shit. So he's the only person I know that did it. Yeah. Oh shit, my legs. I got crampy up, man, sitting in the same spot for so long. Did you see that movie? The one I was talking about? I think it was called Dark Song. Where they do the Bremelin ritual. That's a crazy movie. Pretty good, though. Have you all seen that? It's not. I'm not even talking about spiritual shit. Saltburn. Man, that movie's crazy. I wasn't talking to you, Carlene. I was talking to the person who was asking about William. I was talking to William if he's seen the movie. Is have a friend that is like a spirit radio, hears too many at once. How could he tune in? Usually when you got too many spirits talking to you at one time, it really translates as a ringing in your ears. You can't really make out what any of them are saying when you got too many trying to talk at the same time. I don't know if I have an answer for that question because I actually, I have that problem myself sometimes and I haven't really figured out a way other than talking, be like, hey. One at a time. Like, we can't be doing all this shit at the same time. I can't understand anybody what's going on. That's the only thing I've figured out that really, really works for that, honestly. I can't think of anything because you don't want to block the gift. You just need to control it. They're showing me something like a filter. Earplugs? Are you kidding me? Earplugs. That's what Spirit's saying. No, please say the name of the movie again. I would like to order it. I'm pretty sure it's called A Dark Song. I'm almost positive that's what it's called. It's either called The Dark Song, or A Dark Song. Almost positive. He takes meds now because, he has ringing. A Dark Song, yeah. Yeah, that movie's all about the Abramelin ritual and these people that do it. And it's an ordeal, and we're not doing that. I don't need to talk to an angel that bad. I make a badass of Bremlin oil, though. It's really good shit. But we ain't doing the whole fucking ritual thing, no. Yeah, no, they showed me something on the ears like a filter or earplugs or okay, so you could put I'm just telling you what they're showing me. You could put like a protection oil on earplugs or on like a cotton ball and like when the rain gets real bad, just put those in. But you really just you need to just tell them, be like, hey, y'all are just a mumble jumbo fucking mess of shit, and I can't understand nothing. So everybody needs to chillax one at a time. If you can't commit the time for the Bremlin operation, how about performing the Goetia? I don't do Goetia stuff. It's never been my thing. I know very little about it. The only thing I know about stuff along that lines is the books of Moses, Solomon, because we use those in powwow with the seals and everything and all that. But that's all. That's all. The further I go into Goetia stuff, nothing I ever really studied or was really interested in or anything like that. And there's people that that's all they do. That's like their thing, but that's not my thing. So I can't help you with that one. is it? 9:30. I'm going to have to get off of here soon, y'all. I'm supposed to have to get off of here because I still got shit to do. I ain't been over here yet and did my prayers and shit with them and lit their shit. And I got all kinds of client work going on around me. I gotta do shit with that. Any other questions? Y'all ain't gonna see me again for a minute. I don't have time to do this very often. Not very often at all anymore. I'm always doing readings, I'm always doing work. What did you use? What did you use the boxes I made for? I actually haven't used it for anything yet. I kind of have it sitting over here, but when I need it for something, I'll know what I need it for. I just got it on a shelf over here. I haven't done anything with it yet. Do you know about Rolfing and Reiki? I do not. I don't even know what Rolfing is. I've never heard of it. I do know what Reiki is, and I know a few people that do that, but that's not my thing. So I don't really know much. I know it has something to do with chakras and stuff or something. It's not what I do, so I don't know much about it. All right. Later, Carlene. Thank you for the heart. Does anybody have anywhere? I'm going to have to get off here myself here shortly. Does anybody have any more questions before I get out of here? Oh, got shit to do. And I got some ribs out here that are just dying to be ate. Rolf is healing through touch and energy. Reiki heals the whole spirit. So it's kind of like laying of hands, kind of faith healing. Yeah, I never heard of it. Now, as far as like laying hands or faith healing, I do that, but I don't do it in this practice that you're speaking of. I do it in powwow. Don't you know that telling a witch they're going to hell is like telling a Christian they're going to Mordor? Goodbye. My dog passed away about a year ago. Do you believe in the Rainbow Bridge, or is it a myth? I don't know if I believe in the Rainbow Bridge per se, but I do know from experience that animals have spirits and souls just like we do, and they can choose to hang out for a while. Maybe forever. In spirit. I don't know if there's a heaven for animals, because I don't really believe in a heaven for people either, but I do know that they have spirits, and I do know that they can still hang out with you after they passed. I've seen numerous spirits of animals, and I've seen my own spirits of animals that chill out with me for a while after they pass. Powwow, yeah, brasserie. Powwow, Pennsylvania Dutch, we call it powwow, but it's called brasserie. It's basically German witchcraft. But in Pennsylvania, it's called powwow, which is the tradition that I was raised in. Yeah, animals' spirits are pretty incredible. I've experienced that many times. You're so intrigued. Well, don't be unless you're a Christian. It's very highly Bible based. Very highly Bible based. That's what I grew up in. I practice that too. I said I do a little this, a little that. but you never mix them. I'm not eclectic. You don't mishmash traditions or mix stuff up or make a whatever the fuckery that people are doing nowadays. You do one thing, you're doing that thing. You're doing another thing, you're doing that other thing. You don't fucking mix them. I call it hats. When I'm doing one thing, if I'm doing powwow, I'm wearing my powwow hat, and I'm doing the powwow. And then if I need to go over here and do a spiritismo shit, I take the powwow hat off and I put on my spiritismo hat, and I do that. Don't mix shit. You just make a mess, and then nothing works. Do the dogs eventually leave you after their spirit hangs out with you for? In my experience, yes. I mean, I've also experienced. I mean, they can. I guess that they could hang forever if they wanted to, but I mean, I think the ones I've experienced in my experience, which is the only thing I can speak from, is my personal experience. I think they move on eventually. They do other things. Maybe they get reincarnated. Yeah. But I think they could hang out forever if they wanted to. But I think, at some point they just get bored and move on. Maybe they get reincarnated. I don't know. I can't speak to animal spirits. I just know what I've experienced. I mean, I've seen crazy animal spirits, man. I've seen like zombie cats and crazy. I've experienced a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff, but we always have to. When you do what I do, when you're in service of your community and you're a worker for people and a healer, you got to go through the most fucked up shit because you got to experience that shit. You got to have experience in it, because if you don't have experience, you can't help somebody else when they come to you with that bullshit. So we go through a lot of shit. We see a lot of shit. We experience a lot of shit. So when someone comes to us, we know how to help them. A lot of people don't understand that. They think, oh, I did something and got blowback from it, or, I don't know, threefold or whatever the fuck people believe in, but it's not that. It's that, you're going to go through a lot of shit when you're helping people. Because how are you going to help them if you've never dealt with it and you don't know what it is? You got to experience it yourself. I had a cat one time. This black cat I had for a long time, and something happened to her. I don't know what happened. We went away for a weekend, which we did often. We would go back, to see my grandparents in the Appalachians and stuff, like every other weekend or something. And we leave the cats for a couple of days. It'd be fine. You give them a big bowl of food and a lot of water. They're good for a day or two. And we went this one weekend and we came back and I couldn't find my cat. And I'm like, there's no way my cat vanished. Well, I wound up finding him, and he had worked himself under my dresser, which I don't even know. It was a very small space. Like, I don't know how the fuck he got under the dresser. And when I pulled him out, he was half paralyzed. His whole back half was paralyzed. We don't know. I don't know he was fine when we went away for the weekend, and there was nothing they could do for him, but he was still lively and healthy. I didn't want to put him to sleep, So I just kept him in a little bed. Wherever room I was in, I would just carry the little bed, and he would be in the bed. And I had him in diapers, and I would change the diaper, and I would hand feed him and everything. And he lived like that for a little bit, and then he died, and I buried him. And I don't know, like 2 years went by or something. At the time, I was making jewelries and stuff with bones and everything. And I wanted to make some jewelry with my cat so I could wear it, and have my cat with me and everything. So we went out and we dug up the cat. And when I buried the cat, I wrapped him up in this like black spandex kind of cloth. It was stretchy, right? So it was very conform, like a mummy. You know what I'm saying? Like it stretched around, and he was like a mummy. When we dug him out, he pulled the wrappings out, and he was in there, right? Because it was, the fabric was stretched over. You could see the outline of his face and his eye sockets and bones, and it had weight and everything. And we started unwrapping the cloth, and unwrapping and unwrapping and unwrapping and unwrapping. And when he did the last wrap open, there was nothing in it. My cat, poof, so his whole body was gone. There wasn't a hair, there wasn't a bone, there wasn't nothing, not a nothing in that cloth when we finished unwrapping it. When we know, I mean, he was in there. He was in there all wrapped up, and he picked it up, and you could see the outline and how tight he was wrapped and everything. Poof. It was one of the craziest things I ever experienced in my life, but it made me think of that when you were asking about animal spirits and if they can hang out and stuff, and Rainbow Bridge and it. But yeah, that was a crazy experience. Yeah. I've experienced a lot of crazy stuff. You just blew my mind. It was blowback. It was just huge. It wasn't blowback, yeah. Yeah, I've experienced a lot of crazy stuff. And that just made me think about that one in particular. I had a zombie cat follow me from New Orleans to Pennsylvania. You believe that fucking shit? Yep. Like a zombie cat spirit. I don't know what kind of spirit it was. Like, it wasn't a cat. It was something else, but it sure looked like a cat. Yeah, we saw it. We saw it in New Orleans a couple times. Outside our hotel room, under the car. And then when we drove home, went to Pennsylvania, it followed us. It come around the side of the fucking house when we pulled up. Like, damn, man. Yeah, animal spirits are something else. And you can't really communicate with them that well because they don't speak English. I can't really tell you that much. Alright, does anybody have any more questions before I get off of here? How do you help spirits that want to pass? So somebody that's already passed and they want to move on? Is that what you're asking me? Or are you talking about like a person that's dying and you want to help them? Why did Aleister Crowley end up financially destitute before he died? I mean, I don't know. I know, spiritually speaking, they can fuck up your fucking finances if you're doing some fucked up shit you ain't supposed to be doing. You ain't gonna get rewarded. So if he died financially destitute, then I would say he had a blessing taken away from him because he was either didn't hold up to a promise, that a bargain or a promise that he was going to do. He didn't do it, so that they took some shit away from him, or he was doing some shit that wasn't justified and he shouldn't be doing. So to help a spirit that wants to pass, elevation is, how do you help those who are dying in spirit? And so they're not actually dying. People who are dying in spirit and resisting positive. You can't really do anything for them unless the first thing they would have to do is ask for help. You can't help somebody that doesn't want or ask for help. That's the number one rule. Because you could do all kinds of shit for that person, and if they don't want it and they ain't accepting of it and they didn't ask for it, Ain't gonna fucking work. Ain't gonna fucking work. And a lot of people got their own fucking shit that they need to work through. Like, example, I had somebody that's like a friend of a friend or something. He didn't have no family or nothing, so we invited him over for holidays. Because I don't believe anybody should be alone on holidays, and everybody should have a meal and whatnot. So we invited this guy over for holidays, and he was sitting in my kitchen, and I was cooking and everything, and he says, I hear you heal people and you help people. And I said, yeah, I guess that's what I do. And he says, can you help me? And right off the bat, Spirit talking. And see, this guy's an alcoholic. Big, bad alcoholic. And Spirit started speaking right away. His demon's in that bottle. So no matter what I did for him, short of breaking his addiction, which I could do if or when he actually committed to it, but no matter what I would do for him, it wouldn't matter because his demon is in that bottle. And as long as he's drinking that demon, and I'm using demon as a figurative example, and I'm not actually saying it's a demon. I'm just, you know what I'm saying. It's a figurative way of saying what I'm saying. Everybody gonna run with that one. Oh, she never say anything about demons. Until he quits drinking, nothing I do to help him is gonna matter. Because it might help for a minute. I might get him stable for a minute. But as soon as he goes on a fucking bender, that it's all gonna stop. It's all gonna go away. So I'm not gonna waste my time. What was I just saying earlier about Spirit not rewarding laziness and mundane over magical? He needs to make the first step. He needs to commit to going to a rehab or AA or whatever he needs to do physically, mundanely, to help himself. And if he could do that, I could help him a lot. But until that point is reached, you can't help someone who doesn't want help or doesn't want to help themselves, or is not willing, or is too lazy to do work for themselves. You can't do anything for those people. Like, it might work for a minute. It might be like a Band-Aid, but eventually that Band-Aid is going to fall off and it's going to be a waste of time. I hope that answered the question. So yeah, people that are dying in spirit, unless they ask you for help, they seek help, are willing to at least try to help themselves or seek help or something like that, there's nothing you can do is going to help them. I mean, you could cleanse them. Cleansings always help. So, I mean, if you really wanted to help someone like that, you'd do like spiritual cleansing and stuff. And that might be able to get some of that shit. Because a lot of that shit's attachments. Negative spiritual attachment. We were talking about earlier. Parasites and stuff. A lot of that shit is shit like that. So you can do spiritual cleansings to remove that shit. And that might help them to seek help or get the motivation to be helped. But short of that, there's not much that you can really do. How can you cleanse someone who doesn't believe at all? Well, I mean, you can always make them a bath. Especially if it's a close relationship. Like a romantic partner, or, I mean, even maybe a sibling, or if it's someone close to you like that. Make them a bath. And just be like, I made you a cute little romantic bath. Or, something. I mean, you can get tricky with shit. To get them to do shit that they don't know that they're doing. But if it's just like, I don't know, a rando friend, a coworker, or someone you're not really close to like that, you're not really gonna, the most you can do is prayer. Prayers and light settings or vigils, or, that's the most you could do for somebody like that if you're not that close to them. They probably wouldn't see too kindly if you ran up behind them and started beating them with fucking leaves and shit. We do that a lot. We beat that shit out of people. Like I said, them flowers I was talking about earlier, you beat people with them fucking flowers too. That shit works good. Alright. Any more questions? I'm going to get off of here at 10 o'clock. Maybe before that, but no later than 10. Which is 14 minutes from now. So if anybody has questions, and if anybody don't, I'm going to get off sooner than that. Because my cup is empty. And I smell ribs. I need to go out here and eat some. Plus, I need to go over here and still do my vigils and shit over here. Anybody? Any of the voyeurs in here have a question? No? Y'all ain't gonna see me for a minute. Alright, well, any products I mentioned are available on my website, primitiverootsconjure.com. You can find me on Facebook at Primitive Roots Appalachian Conjure. You can find me on YouTube, Primitive Roots. You can find me on Instagram under primitive_roots_conjure. I'm all over the place, and wherever I'm at, it's going to be Primitive Roots Conjure. If we were discussing anything that needs a private conversation, like someone was asking about protection jewelry, feel free to private message me on my Facebook page or any of the my website, any of the outlets I just mentioned. I hope I helped everybody. I hope I answered your questions to the best of my ability. I will see you in the future, and as always, may all your ancestors have all the necessary light and elevation that they need to properly guide you on your path, and I will see you next time. Have a good week, everybody.